time for the Film Cricket with Jay Fortier and Chris Martineau. On this week's episode, continuing on with our month-long review of horror films, Jay, Chris, and their special guest, Ray Ozier, joins the show again to review the 1986 American slasher film Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Does it stand the test of time? Let's find out. Your Film Crickets are on now.
All right. Hey, friends. My name is Jay Fortier. I'm along with my good friend,
Chris Martineau.
Oh, that's him right there.
That's me.
And we have, that's right.
That is me.
We have, once again, returning triumphantly because we get to watch Part 6 because he joined us for Part 5. He suffered through Part 5, and now he's back for Part 6, which is a redemption. It is Ray Auger.
Hey, everybody.
Ray, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. You know, I had fun last time, but talking about such a bad movie. And not just, sometimes it's fun to talk about a bad movie, but I was actually angry talking about this bad movie. So I'm glad we, you know what I mean? It wasn't, the show was fun, but the movie just angers me. So I'm glad that we can redeem ourselves and talk about such a fun Friday the 13th.
We will call this part of your catharsis, part of your ongoing therapy. And we have trampled over a possible line here where this is Friday the 13th Part 6 Ray Part 2. So just understand that, it's like it's like Rambo Part 2 First Blood Part 1, Rambo Part 3 First Blood Part 2. So anyway, so here we are with here we are with Friday the 13th Part 6. Can I just say something that kind of blew my mind? This movie came out in 1986. Really?
Yeah.
That makes my head hurt because it looks like a fresh film.
It does.
The part of Friday the 13th Part 5 looks like it was shot through a dirty beer glass, and this movie looks actually kind of crisp. I don't understand what's happening. Like, what did they do with 5? The more I watch 6, the more I hate 5. Like, I hate 5 more now than I did after watching 6. So I think I know where you're coming from, Ray.
What was 80? I mean, what was Part 5? Was that 80? What? 3? 84?
It had to be 85.
No, it was 8.
Well, it wasn't that recent. Okay, I think.
They just banged them out.
They did, yeah.
Every year.
I was a freshman in high school in '86, and for some reason, I feel like that was a turning point for the '80s and for movies and pop culture. I think things became a little bit more MTV-ish as we heard better music in this movie than we've heard in any other Friday the 13th. So they stepped it up a bit. They brought Alice Cooper on board, and there was a bigger budget. And I think every movie like that. The first Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street was like 84, and that was pretty dark. And then you got to the next one, and even the third one, really, Dream Warriors with Dawkins. I think MTV really had an influence on pop culture in general at that time.
Yep.
That's the long answer.
Okay, no, I can dig it. No, it's amazing what they I don't know. So should we start? Let's kind of start like we do, right? So, and I have some confessions to make as we go through it. So first of all, Ray, you were just saying. So we're gonna ask, when's the last time you saw this movie, if at all? Ray, you were just telling us what's your current horror movie regimen? Tell me again.
Well, I want to watch 31 movies in October. 31 horror movies. I have the list right here. Let's see how far I am. What does it say? The 5th?
Oh, boy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 2 or 3 a day.
All right.
I watched 2 today, including this one.
All right. So you
3
watched it
total.
Last time today.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do
and
what you do. I watch it in pieces because I have my iPad at work, and I will watch things in pieces.
In mildly inappropriate moments.
Yes.
So before that, do you own this, or is this because you said it was your favorite?
No, I don't own it. I don't know why I don't. I'm sure at some point I did own it, but I think I always caught it when it was on HBO or with all the streaming services. It's not free, but I did rent it today.
Okay, all right.
I must have had it on
Jay?
VHS back in the day.
Sure, I didn't like. I've never. I only rented these. I never owned any Friday the 13th movie ever. Maybe I should, but Jay, what about you? What's your deal?
When was the last time?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometime within the last 20. I can't say.
20 years?
I'm glad you guys prepare for this.
No, besides last night or today.
Yeah.
God, no. No, I'm. His question usually is besides the time for this podcast.
The obvious. Yeah.
When did you see it last? And I specifically I don't know. Sometime within since the 2000.
Why would you?
All right.
I can't say. Can't say if it was early or late 2000.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't remember. But it sticks out in my head very well.
So here's my deal with this. I thought I saw this one, and I did not.
Wow.
I have not seen this film ever. I saw 4. I saw 3. Those are a while ago. And again, in my head, I just kind of conflate these movies. So maybe I thought some of it was 8 and some of it wasn't. And I've seen the documentaries on all these horror movies so many times that I forget which one I've seen. And I'm walking in going, oh, yeah, this is the one. No, it's not. Oh, so this is the one. No, it's not this one either. Which one is this? And I actually had not seen it. I've seen a lot of clips from it. I have not seen it. I will full disclosure here. Usually I do watch a movie. I try to do it in one sitting. I usually do it in the morning or sometime at night. But I knew I was going to have a pretty busy week this week. So I rented this one on Amazon a couple of days ago, and I've been watching it at school. Now, the funny part about that is while this movie is probably the least exploitative of all the films, and it really is. I mean, honestly, it is. The least amount of drug use, the least amount of punishing people for doing bad things, right? This isn't like 5 at all, and needless to say, for that regard. But there's still a lot of killing and screaming in it. And so today, I'm in. It's hard to explain, but I have my classroom. I teach high school. I'm in my classroom, and I have like a side room where I kind of like hide and grade stuff. So I'm grading, and I have this movie on at the same time. And there's students like in the next room, like doing something, like they're preparing like a presentation, not my class, but somebody else's. And I said, yeah, use my room. And all you hear from my closet is, and I'm like, oh my God, what do they think is happening in here? And it might have been the sex scene. There might have been the sex scene too. But again, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? I don't know what they could hear. But it wasn't even really a sex scene. Yeah.
No, it was basically dancing on top of each other, and she's like even saying, no, last until the end of the song. So it was, see, the one thing it's so cool that we just watched 5 because the whole time I was saying, if they took the blood away and maybe that scene, this could have been PG-13.
I think that's what they were probably going for. Again, with that MTV stylistic movie making, they were thinking of a younger generation. Even the kills were, it wasn't that bloody.
No, the blood was all after the fact. Like here's a window. Psh. Yes, here's a lot of blood with in the cabin later.
Right.
But you didn't see how it got there.
There's the blood.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Like somebody took out the hose, and sprayed blood everywhere. But I mean, you never got to see it specifically happen. Right. You just saw it break down.
It's a very soft R.
Pan. Oh my God!
It is a soft.
It's like
R
they made it family friendly in a way.
Well, I think we're going to hit on this after. And no, you're right. I agree with you. I think in terms of gore, The Walking Dead is probably far more gory than this movie ever will be. There's more cursing in The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is far more grim than this movie, and I haven't watched The Walking Dead in years. I gave up. It's just far too way out there for me. So yeah, it is almost family friendly-esque, and it makes it pleasurable to watch, rather than 5, which is like a grind to watch. Like it's just horrible. Like you're actually with the characters because there is, believe it or not, there is, and I think we all agree, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, elements of humor throughout this movie. Elements of humor, elements of it being a meta film, like knowing that it's kind of making fun of itself at times, like no doubt about it. Like we are in a horror movie kind of situation, which I think is great. And I'm not going to give it all away, but let me do, before we get into our rundown of this, we got to do the IMDb rundown on this. IMD. Who likes that good tea? All right, so here we go. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Came out in 1986. Rated R, a brisk. These movies are so good at being 90 minutes. 1 hour and 26 minutes. A brisk 86 minutes. Director and writer Tom McLaughlin. Also writing credit for Sean S. Cunningham. Victor Miller for the characters. Stars Tom Matthews, Jennifer Cook, David Kagan. Who else I got? Nobody else I really recognize.
Tony Gwynn.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Tony Goldwyn is in it.
Goldwyn. Yeah, that's his first movie, by the way.
That's right. He is good, but we can't forget. Now, the lead character is of course Tom Matthews, and then we have the supporting cast, but we cannot forget Ron Palillo, Horshack. Horshack is in this movie, and boys, how far away from was he from actually being Horshack? Far or close?
Well, no, I would say, I did not. You could say how he acted, I guess, but I'm talking about. I did not hear the Arnold, accent. He was actually showing us that, I don't just have this accent.
I know.
Like from New York, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know what part of New York, but.
I had forgotten that Kane Hodder was not Jason in this one. So I had a joke. My joke was going to be, oh, Mr. Hodder, Mr. Hodder.
Oh, man. Too bad.
I was about to go on Facebook with it. I was going to do memes. I'm like, this is the best connection. And then I look it up. It's not even Kane Hodder's movie.
Then I think they replaced Jason halfway through because he was chunky, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah, if you watch the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, they show like scenes where, man, for a guy that just got raised from the dead, he sure is eating well. And so they replaced him with somebody else that was skinnier and sprightlier. But how funny is, like, the movie starts, and how are we not supposed to laugh that Horshack is in this movie? Like, are we as an audience not supposed to go, oh my goodness, that's Horshack?
Was this like what they did in Scream, where they had Drew Barrymore at the beginning? We were supposed to think Horshack was like the star of this thing. Maybe
it was. Maybe, I don't know. And he gets offed right away. And the movie, we resurrect now, Jason wasn't Jason in 5. Jason died in 4 at the hand of Tommy Jarvis. And through the magic of filmmaking, 2 years passed, but now Tommy Jarvis is about 25. Whatever, don't care about that. We're going to go to Jason's grave. How many serial killers do you know get proper burials like Jason did?
With
headstone and everything. With a headstone. Somebody put up the money for the headstone. And we literally resurrect Jason, like Frankenstein, with a lightning bolt through the chest. He comes up, and does he have clothes immediately?
Yeah.
I think he was buried in his jumpsuit, or
but it was riddled by maggots.
Yeah, it was a little torn, a little ripped up.
Yeah. So I didn't know that lightning actually had a direct conduit to Target and Walmart to get a brand new jumpsuit with fresh gardening gloves. And what was that thing, that satchel he had here? Like, he had a fresh new satchel. Did you guys see that?
I did not notice that, no.
Well, yeah, I know he pulled out like a lawn dart or something. What the hell did he throw at the cop?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Was that his Bowie knife?
Like,
he had a Bowie knife at one point.
But when they showed it,
it was
like
smaller.
A dart that had like a little like a feather or something on it.
I forgot that. But I mean, so this movie is basically saying, we're sorry about 5. We know there was no Jason in it. Again, to quote Ray.
Just the end.
Okay. So just in response to that, and this is what I want to think about, you guys to think about, how much Jason is in this movie. Like, we see Jason all the time in this movie. Like, he's in a lot of minutes in this movie. He's just walking around wasting people. And that, to me, and I'll see what you think about this, it's so refreshing because he's on screen. He's not hiding at all. He's just walking around. And I thought that was just great. I don't know. What do you think?
My guess is that there was a ton of people in the audience that just let them have it. And now and this is not the day of the internet, so they must have gotten bombarded with letters, angry letters to the studio and said, "What the hell, people?" And somebody probably had a meeting and said, "Okay, what can we do? What's wrong with 5, and what can we do to like it was like I said, this is like the exact opposite. You know what I mean? Like in many ways.
Yeah, it was refreshing that Jason was on the screen more than 5. 5 was more of a whodunit. We remember that. It was there was a mystery involved, and we didn't need a mystery. The only mystery was in the Chief's head in this movie, but we knew it was Jason killing everybody. This one was worlds apart. And you're right. There must have been letters. There must have been I don't know, protests in front of the studio. I don't know.
Free Jason. Free Jason. Free.
But this one, it resurrected, no pun intended, it resurrected the series.
But it also, it resurrects him in a way that, because now and this is my problem with Michael Myers, to me, Michael Myers has no business being indestructible. But now that we've resurrected Jason via Frankenstein, it's more plausible that he's indestructible, because now he is officially supernatural. He is Frankenstein, therefore unkillable. He's a zombie. He's undead. And the only thing he thinks about is, I got to kill. Well, is he really after Tommy Jarvis, or is he just killing people?
He went after Tommy. You could tell at the end when he turned around, heard his voice. I think he's going after Tommy.
But not at the beginning. That wasn't his motivation. His motivation was
kill.
Was it? Is that I get
at the beginning of this film?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think he wanted to go home because you saw him walking towards the camp. Yep.
All right, that's right. He was making his way back to the
you know what would have been funny? Like, I mean, since this thing's already kind of a goofy comedy at times, it would be great. Like when he walks in and he looks up at the sign that says Forest Green Camp. What the hell? Like,
goes
he
the
looks
other way.
up at it. He can read it.
Yeah.
Oops, wrong camp.
Oh, damn.
Because they changed the name of the town.
Yeah, it's Camp Forest Green.
Yeah, but they changed the name of the town to Forest Green instead of Crystal Lake or whatever. Was that even the name of the town?
No, it was Forest Green County. I don't know what the town was.
No. Either way, they were like sort of the sheriff said something like along the lines of that. But you could tell how campy, no literally no pun intended, this movie is. That when the music changes and they're showing this random paintball match. Yep. That's happening, and it's like boom, 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 boom. Like these guys. Like,
well, it was almost like
the goggles.
It was almost like music you'd hear in Stripes or a comedy, a military comedy, and it changed the whole vibe of the movie, to a comedy. Like at that point, you're wondering, is this going to be funnier than it should be? And it was.
Right.
But I thought it almost went slapstick at that point. The funny thing is too, the director and writer, this what's his name,
Tom McLaughlin.
Tom McLaughlin never did comedy before this. His credits are very slim. He's done a few horror movies, but I thought it was brilliant writing, to be honest with you.
So I'll go one, and again, you got to watch the 7-hour documentary on Friday the 13th. Tom McLaughlin, before he did Near Dark or After Dark or some shit, I forget what it was, he was a professional mime. He went to mime school, and he knows how to move his body. Like, his thing is body movement, or at least it was when he was a mime. And some of the actors, if thinking the paintball scene, were mimes in his troupe.
Oh, no kidding.
And yeah, so now when you think about that, think about how everybody moves in this movie. There are scenes in that paintball scene where the guy, I forget, and I'm sorry, I'm spotty on my memory because I only just saw it, and I only saw it once, and it was over 3 days. But during the paintball scene, wasn't somebody like fumbling with their pants and falling over, and like their limbs are just going akimbo? And you can see Tom McLaughlin going, if it's funny, you got to put your body into it. And just flailing about. Am I wrong? Did I
No, you're right.
that?
There's a nerdy guy with the glasses, and he's the last one, and he's out there somewhere, and he's hunting everybody else down. But he comes up on a tree, and he leans on a branch, and it breaks off. And then he tries to put the branch back on. And then he does this zigzag from tree to tree as he's falling over and tripping. And it's very comedic. It's like 30 seconds of gold.
That's what I mean.
Comedic gold,
And that's the difference between...
Smiley face?
Oh, yeah, the smiley face in the tree. That's good stuff. But and that's what I mean. Like, it was so refreshing because there are no... It's a laugh, but it's not... I don't know. It's not a comedy, but it...
Not once did I feel nervous watching it. Meaning, like, you know, like that scary... Like part 2, I used to find really, really scary when I was young. Like, you know, like, that was the first one I saw, you know, and everything was just eerie with the music and, you know, I don't know, like this one was like I said, even when he's around, it's like, oh yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Well, in this one, you're almost rooting for Jason in this one. That's how much fun it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I dare say how much of this movie is at night?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I don't think a lot of it's at night. Maybe the end, just the end.
Yeah, maybe.
But the rest of it, he's in broad daylight, like just walking around the woods. Like he's in broad daylight.
What about the couple just hanging out in the middle of the woods? I mean, they're not by a lake. They're not by a stream.
I know.
Oh, man.
They're not under an apple tree. They are in the dead of the woods with mist around them. And they look like yuppies. They've got nice clothes on. They've got champagne. Who takes a date to the middle of the woods where Jason once haunted? You're talking about night scenes. That's a scene that popped up in my head. But I found that to be I didn't find that to be a funny scene. And I think they needed to throw in a few extra kills here. And that could have been one of those scenes that it was like, we need something here. Send the crew out, and we'll just kill these two people.
Right. I think, if I can, what I think is interesting about this movie is, to me, it sets an aesthetic for horror movies, at least for slasher movies, that basically the movies before this, they were trying to be creepy and either being successful or not. So Halloween is creepy, okay? Friday 1 is creepy, 2 is creepy, 3 starts to go overboard. Then they come to 5, they realize creepy is not working, and whatever the formula we have isn't going to work. The fans just want Jason to kill people. They're not concerned about eerie. They don't want jump scares necessarily. They don't want whodunits. They just want Jason to kill people in magical and mysterious ways. And I think that sets the trend for horror movies after that. Not only that one, but Friday the 13th, but Nightmare on Elm Street. You can make the argument for some of the Halloween movies, but I think it's just they're less on the creepy, less on the exploitative, more on let's just get our Mount Rushmore of horror guy, because he's on the Mount Rushmore of horror, and let's get him to do Jason-like things, and people will dig it. And that's what I kind of liked about it. I don't know. It's not creepy. That's to Jay's point. It's not a creepy movie. It's not eerie. It's just a blasty blast. And I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I don't know. Call me nuts.
I mean, listen to the theme song for one. He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask. Such a fun tune. You know, in the video, they had a music video for it. You know, playing on MTV a little bit. So I mean, that was fun. You know, that's playing at regular times. You know, that people are seeing that.
No.
So that's a little more of a pop culture thing. I'm going to fast forward 2 films to tell you a quick story about just so I could tell you about what you were just talking about, what the people want. Now, the Siskel and Eberts of the world went, oh, they just want to kill the women, and it's anti-woman, and it's these sadistic bastards are watching people kill people, and it's like, no. Like that's it's not about that. We're not, like we may like enjoy how it's done artfully or whatever like that, but we're not going, oh man, I'm now gonna take out a sword like.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna be disrespectful to women, but this clinches it. I think I will now.
Yeah, right. So no, but what I'm saying is, anyone who's in horror fandom realizes that there's a ton of great fans, like, you know what I mean, like the people who like Jamie Lee Curtis was like, wow, I can't believe I was always afraid of like the people, like, you know, and then I go to these conventions and people are like the sweetest people ever. And like, you know, like they get it. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. I saw part 8, which is terrible, in the theater. And the first kill that happens, it was in a little theater in Franklin. You remember the little one that was like in the middle of like downtown?
Oh yeah.
It became called the Zoetrope, but it was like, you know, but then it was something, it was before that though. So the first kill happens on the boat, and literally like a 1980s ending, you hear. And then it just builds till the whole theater just goes, wow. It was the funniest. Like, it was like not even like everyone planned on it. Everyone just followed suit to what like that one person started. Mm-hmm. The rest of them, and each and every time it happened after that, like we just erupted. Well, we didn't do it every time in the slow clap. Everybody just cheered every time, just because it was something funny to do. But like random, you know, like someone in the back did that. It caught on, funny as hell. But anyways,
that's good. That's good stuff. That's the magic of a movie, right? Like you don't know when that stuff's going to happen. And that's what we kind of miss out on when we do all the streaming stuff. Like you do miss out on that moment. Jay was talking about, he saw Endgame, right? You saw Endgame at home, and I saw it in the theater. And there's that moment when the crowd cheers, when everybody comes through the holes. Even though I thought it came about an hour or two late, but the movie's way too long. But honestly, that's another time for another matter. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I wanted a time heist for my last Avengers movie, but that's just me. But it was really cool when they all came out, and there was cheering at the end.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
I had a conversation with a couple people last week, maybe, and it was just about that. What movies were you in? Where were you present where the crowd just went absolutely nuts? And that was one of the big ones that came up. And when Cap caught the hammer, too.
Yep.
And that another one for me was Han Solo. We're getting off topic here. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Go.
When Han and Chewie came around the corner in.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Crowd went nuts.
Yep. We're home. Even though it was in the trailer. Like it was in the trailer. We knew that was coming.
Like it's one of those things coming, that you see it coming, and like here it is. Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
But this movie had elements of that, you know, especially probably the first major kill, because we were watching a brand new Friday the 13th that looked different and seemed different, and oh my God, they electrified him. The bolt of lightning rose him from the dead. This is going to be totally new. And a lot of those kills were so fun and creative that I bet you there were a lot of laughs and a lot of cheers.
Let's talk about kills, laughs, and cheers. The whole Winnebago scene is a mixture of murder, like sex,
Smokey and the Bandit,
and comedy. Yeah. Hey, what are you taking a dump back there? And
I wrote that down. That's a line that has stuck with me for years. You know, how disrespectful can you be to somebody? And right before they say like, "You want me to join you back there? What are you taking a dump? Is that really where you want to be while your girlfriend is going to the bathroom?"
Let's make it worse, because he said some shit, and I was like, "What did he just say?" So I actually put on the subtitles because I wanted to see that, you know, like I was like, I'm hearing music, I'm hearing screaming. I couldn't quite make it out. And he says, "Can I snatch a peek or vice versa?"
That's right.
Oh, God. Yuck. Oh, God. Yuck. Oh, God. See,
but literally,
but wait a minute.
He just said that
ahead.
After he asked if she was taking a dump.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's just some weird stuff.
So wait a minute. So this is the weird part about this movie is why it's not family friendly, but it's a little bit better. The kids that are doing terrible things, the terrible things they're doing aren't even that terrible.
No.
Like that guy saying, "Hey, you know, it's not like the other movies." My classic from Freddy vs. Jason, when they have sex and she wants to kiss him and he says, "You know I don't kiss after I fuck. Go get me a beer." Like, he deserves it, like, obviously, right? Because he's so terrible. But the guy in the van,
she killed him.
Right, exactly. Like, punch him in the face. So he deserves it. The guy in the Winnebago, he's just kind of like a schlub. He doesn't necessarily deserve it. I mean, he's being disrespectful. Yeah, like, he's being disrespectful. But look at the camp counselors. Even the camp counselors are like camp counselor light. The stoner guy who's like wicked 80s and has the cut-off sweatshirt, which was awesome. And he tells that awesome story about the rocks.
Yeah, he's the same guy from the Winnebago.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot. I apologize. It all kind of melts together. But even before, like, he's harmless. He's a doofus, and he's not
ultimate
nice.
Mouth breather.
Yeah, and he's just like, so you put he's got the kids all around him. He's telling them about Indians, Native Americans hooking up and how to divert your husband from your cheating wife, or I even forget what it was. I'm like, this is the worst story. But he's not a terrible, terrible person.
No, he's just making shit up on the fly.
Yeah, he's just a dirtbag, and the kisses go. And what the kids around him is like, "Yep, we're dead meat." And then later, when Jason's coming in the cabin, and the kids are on the bed and going, "Yeah, we're dead meat." And the other kid goes, "What did you want to be when you grew up?" Like, that's so funny. Like, it's so funny. These people,
the way the kid looks at him.
Oh, I know.
He asks that question, and he goes, like, stares at him like, "Did you just ask me that?"
Speaking of the kids, by the way, this is the first Friday the 13th that introduced kids, not Corey Feldman, but like a group of kids that are at camp. And that kind of gave it oh my God, is Jason going to kill a kid?
A bus full of kids.
Yeah.
A bus
just
full
one
of
bus,
kids.
though. That's a small camp.
But still, it's a lot of kids.
He kept zeroing in on low rent Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. We need a Heather O'Rourke type.
Yeah.
And speaking of this weird camp, is first of all, the boys had a dartboard in their cabin. They're 10 years old. I found that to be very weird. Was that maybe that's what he threw in the guy's head? Maybe it was a dart from the dartboard.
It looked thicker.
Okay. And then there's a hamster cage with 2 hamsters. I didn't see any kid run off the bus with a big cage and a box with the hamsters and some extra, bedding and food. I mean, that's a lot to carry to camp. I went to camp. I wasn't allowed to bring my pets with me. I found that awkward and weird.
You know what else was really cool about that? Those hamsters. There was a moment where the scene got tense where Jason came in and they both cowered a little bit, like off to the side. Like,
I didn't see that.
It was like they just sort of both like were running in the wheel and they sort of just jumped to this side of the cage. So it was just like a little subtle thing.
But they showed them 4 or 5 times, and I was trying to figure out what is the point of the hamsters. There had to have been something, and one of my thoughts was the wheel was squeaky. Maybe that was to cover Jason walking on the floorboards and squeaking. The kids thought, there's no monster in the room. That's just the hamsters. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But there had to be a reason.
They also slid it, like they showed them slide it under the bed.
Yeah.
When they went under the bed, the girl brings down the tank of the hamsters and slides it under the bed with her.
They also did very
cool.
They cut scenes of kids diving. I don't know if you noticed that. It was very quick. There was no need to dive when you can lean down. But it was an interesting choice of shot. They showed like 3 kids, like almost like vertical. I mean horizontal, just flying through the air.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, when they come back in.
When they dove under the beds.
Yeah. I love how this movie, like. Again, I will not give up on the fact, and there's one point I need some help with, and one point I definitely know. The fact that we resurrected Jason with a lightning bolt like Frankenstein, and in one of the penultimate scenes, when the sheriff is finally, believes Tommy Jarvis that Jason is there because he's gonna now fight Jason in front of him, and he puts shotgun blast in his chest, and every time he gets up, he literally does the
jump scare
with the arms out, the jump scare like Frankenstein, but he does it, and it's not even like a legit jump scare. It's not like there's no sting. It's just like and down and up and down, and to me that's supposed to be not scary. That's kind of funny. He's saying that Like, this is a Frankenstein character. You can't get him down. He's going to get up from the ground, not unlike even with the hands, like Dracula, like a Universal monster. Just boom. Like, to me, that was really an interesting choice to do rather than just going, ugh. Like, just shot straight up, which I think is amazing. The movie is informing itself kind of a little bit, not to sound too film student-y, but that's that. But am I wrong? And please clarify this, because like I said, my memory on it is a little bit foggy. But at one point, are they playing a game in the cabin called Friday the 13th?
Camp Blood.
Somebody, Camp Blood or something. Do they have like some weird, legend type Bloody Mary game?
No, she made it up.
What is the deal? She made it up.
The other one was bored and didn't want to play anymore. The other one was like, I don't want to play any more stupid cards. I'm not pulling a card. She goes, all right, fine. How about instead of that, we'll play Camp Blood, right? And then so she just like is thinking of it on the spot. So she's making it up as she goes along and says like, which each pile of the cards is a cabin. Which cabin is he in, type of thing.
Right, and then there's like certain deaths or whatever. I don't know. To me, it's almost like the movie is saying there are these other movies called Friday the 13th, and we're gonna make up this. I know there's a legend, but we're kind of making it up on the spot, like that we are. That's almost like this movie that we are in a movie called Friday the 13th, and we're gonna have these little cabins. I don't know. I'm crazy. I get it. I'm just saying it seemed like it was making fun of itself a little bit by doing that, because it wasn't. They weren't doing that game like it was some creepy, eerie thing. It was just like this fun thing. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Shut up.
No. I'll tell you why I think that they did that in that manner, because these kids were kind of like, because they changed the name of the town and stuff like that. It's like they were kept in the dark on the absolute truth.
Okay.
It was always like legend and story, but nothing like. It's not. It was like the boogeyman guy. It's they kept talking about him sort of, but like it's like he's dead. He's dead. So there's nothing concrete that these kids have. It's not like they just had last year. There's 30 murders over at the camp. No, it's they seem to have it like it's that legend. So they're not being that worried when they're playing that. It's sort of like, all right, like let's do the thing. Like since it came up today, like it's. You know what I mean? Like at the sheriff's station and all this shit.
Sure.
Let's, by the way, we have not mentioned at all Megan, who doesn't seem concerned about a prisoner.
No, not just a prisoner, but a known mental case, who escaped from a mental facility. That doesn't bother her. Maybe he is Jason, maybe he's not, but there's a whole other thing to Tommy Jarvis that is worrisome. And it doesn't seem to bother her.
Bad cops, by the way, because he came into the police station and said, I just dug him up and he's on the loose. Right?
He immediately pulls out his gun.
Right. But here's the other part. When he finally, acts crazy enough, they shove him inside the jail cell and they have no idea if he's packing or anything, because they just shoved him in the jail. Like they didn't even frisk him. They didn't do it. They held him down for a second and they threw him in there and shut the door. It's like, we don't even know if this kid's got something on him. He obviously didn't. Well, but
they were like a combination of Barney Fife for that reason, but then also like Dirty Harry. These small town cops. This was a quote as they're driving the car. Hit the noise and the cherries. That's something like a badass cop who has seen stuff says. And then his deputy pulls out the gun with a laser. With I mean, the biggest thing these guys have ever dealt with is like somebody stole Aunt May's blueberry award-winning pie. That's it. And then they had to investigate that. But he's got a gun with a laser on it. And then he does the whole, wherever the red dot hits, you bang.
Yep.
Hardened cops for such a small town community.
Well, maybe they're posing. Let's not forget, he's got the whole enchilada.
And it's Jersey, by the way. It is New Jersey.
Yeah.
So
it's Jersey. All right. I got this, I got that, I got the whole enchilada.
You know
Who
what's
says
funny
that?
about that?
Who writes the whole enchilada?
Oh, you want to talk about writing? Hold on. You want to talk about writing? How about the grave guy says, "What do they think I am? A fart head?"
Oh yeah. And
fart
then,
head.
Yay! Yeah, but then the kids after all agree. Yay!
That worked. Yeah, that did work. I just thought Farthead was such an interesting choice of
and he also looked
names.
at the camera.
He
At
did.
one point,
You're
right.
when he said, "Some folks got a strange idea of entertainment."
Oh yeah.
That's right. So it's meta. It's
That's
breaking
meta,
walls
absolutely.
all over the place.
But
like
I'm holding on to this thought. You just said it was Jersey, and it's it becomes known later on. I don't think it was instantly Jersey, right? Like where they in part 1 and 2 and all that. I don't think they were saying New Jersey.
Sure.
I think, but eventually it became New Jersey. I like how all these Southern people are living in New Jersey.
I think that's why I always thought it was like somewhere in the Midwest.
In other movies too, like even the new one, the brand new one from 2018. That nasty hick that grows pot and starts licking a magazine.
And talking like this, and
dude, this
yeah,
like,
well, you
like,
need some pot.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying nobody can move, but it seems like there's always somebody like the two rednecks that were in the mother and the son in part 5. There's all these different people.
Oh yeah, my God!
It's just weird that they're all in New Jersey.
I'll do a quick story here, and I think it's it's funny. Not to talk about stereotyping, but if I did, and I'm not going to because it's offensive, but if I did a Mexican accent right now, people might have a problem with it, right? Or if I did an African American accent, obviously people might have a problem with it. But if I do an accent of Mario from Super Mario Brothers, everybody's okay with it, even though it's obviously like a super like, hey, it's me, Mario. Like no one would bat an eye at that, right? So my point to the story is the following. When they want to, and this is not my opinion, folks, so you can email me if you want. I'm just saying, if Hollywood wants to portray someone that is a little uneducated, they'll drop a Southern accent on them because it sounds stupid. I'm not saying it is, so don't write me that blame Hollywood, don't blame me. But the fact of the matter is that I had a teacher that I worked with who was from Arkansas, and he worked in Rhode Island with me, and every now and then he goes, he had a Southern Arkansas accent, Texas Arkansas accent, and I would do stuff like if things were confusing, I go, what in the hell's going on around here? And he'd always go, why is it that Southern people are always stupid? And I'm like, no, Mark, I'm not saying so. Why is it when anybody's ever confused, you put on that voice? And I'm like, okay, never mind, I'm done. My foot feels great in my mouth. So I think that's so while Friday the 13th obviously is not the bastion of say political correctness, certainly I think that's probably what they're doing with the New Jersey people. They're just trying to say that they're a little bit uneducated, and by dropping, even though there's plenty of accents in Jersey that can also make you sound equally as uneducated. And Rhode Island and Massachusetts and Maine and everywhere. I'm just saying. So that's my story. Why is everybody from the South stupid? I'm like, never mind, Mark. Sorry.
And then on top of that,
He's
you're in a horror movie, and it's giving the killer the go-ahead to kill those people. You know what I mean? Oh, Southern accent, they're dumb, they're stupid. Let's kill them. We'll kill them off. The crowd won't mind. The audience won't mind.
Yep, I know. And I do the body count in this is higher, and I do like the fact that we're really not. We break through the trope of you have sex, you die. Even though he does kill people after they have sex, it's not as egregious as the other movies.
No,
right?
I mean,
it's not so obviously breaking usually they're like two consenting people. And one of them is trying to have a 10-minute orgasm.
By the way,
I don't understand. But
I don't recall any drug use. Like you said, like maybe minimal, but like I don't even know if there was any.
No, there's none.
I
don't think so.
And here's a good question: Who writes a 10-minute song in 1986? Where did that come from?
Oh,
a pop song. Excuse me, a 10-minute pop song.
Yeah. No, it's the remix. It's the 12-inch.
Well, because she says we can't stop until the song's over. It's 10 minutes long.
I wasn't talking about 12 inches. I was talking about the record. Wow.
Oh my God.
I wasn't going there at
That's
all.
a good point. That's a good point. What pop song is 10 minutes long?
Yeah, just an observation.
She's listening to the first side of Close to the Edge while making love. Like 18. So I love Siberian Cat. True, it gets me in the mood. 9 minutes, baby. Here we go. Oh no, next it's gonna be Relayer. All right, sorry.
I do I like Jason's reaction though when he sees the Winnebago shaking. He does that head tilt, and that's the first time we see two people really having sex. And I thought it was another nod to the horror genre, where he's like, "Oh, well, this might be interesting. I might have to go take care of this."
And also,
well,
he's smarter in this that we've ever seen him. I think he's cutting the phone lines. He's taking out power. He's really very resourceful.
Yes, he is. He's making sure they don't get away. He's going to trick them this time.
He made his way back to the camp. Right?
That is true.
So he must have stopped and asked for directions or something.
Or he followed the stars.
No, I got
maybe
it.
he can,
I got it. He killed the two people in the Volkswagen Beetle. They had a map on them. Yeah, they were looking
true.
for
There you go.
But yeah,
2 years later, they would have had a printout of MapQuest.
The guy, the guy that he killed, that pulled out the pistol from the Volkswagen Beetle. He was the villain guy in Ghost.
Yes.
I can't remember his name, but
Tony Goldwyn.
Yep.
There it is.
Another thing I noticed, and we're kind of jumping around here.
Oh, that's what we do.
I wanted to mention the graveyard scene again, and this happens in every movie where somebody digs a grave. I've never dug a grave before, but if I did, I don't think it would be as perfectly, dug as it is in every movie, especially this one, where it's 6 feet by 4 feet, perfect, straight down. I want to see a movie where somebody is just reckless with their digging, and it's just one big mess. But this movie does not it.
I will also say that while I also have yet to dig a grave, I will also say that in the times that I've been to funerals where the grave has just been dug, not guys with shovels.
No.
It's heavy farming equipment. And whenever we go into these movies with these 6 foot deep, like perfect rectangular graves, there's always one old drunk guy with a shovel who's about 85 and with arthritis, when really it takes heavy lifting machinery. Oh, and by the way, you guys, you've dug holes in your backyard. How many times you hit a rock?
Oh, absolutely.
And you just want to stop everything because too many rocks. Forget it. I'm not doing this. There's too many rocks. I'm sorry, too many rocks.
We really need that septic pumped. I know.
I know. I know.
It's going to take longer.
I paid a guy. I did that recently. I paid a guy $80 to find that. I'm like, no way. I am done. This is not worth my time. I just paid a dude to find it. I couldn't do it. I'm like, I can't handle it.
We put a pool in. I had to dig the electricity trench, and it had to go like 6 feet down or something, or even 4 feet down. This wide. I couldn't do it.
Oh my God.
And
yeah,
I did do it, and I didn't get anywhere, and it still took me 6 hours. So to be able to dig a grave with you and Horseshack, over the course half hour. I mean, he doesn't have any muscle on him. We know Horseshack.
That's so funny the way you just said that. You and friggin' Horseshack over here. No, literally, it's Horseshack.
It sounded like a joke, but no, it was literally
no.
Horseshack.
Now this.
Oh, and I love. Hold on, I'm sorry. I love how Horseshack was carrying in the shovels, and then when Tommy said, "All right, let's dig," he's like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean? Why are we digging?" I'm like, well, you got the shovels. Why did you carry the shovels in if you didn't know you weren't
Road
going to
trip.
dig?
He just wanted to go on the road trip. He wanted to listen to some tunes, through the lightning storm. And you know what I like too? He helps him dig, and then he's like, hand me the crowbar. He's like, he like folds his arms like, this is too far. It's like, you've already dug up a freaking casket. Opening it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, whoa. I draw the line at opening the casket.
And by the way, Tommy was in reach of the crowbar because he reached for it. So to ask this poor guy who's already scared, hey, do me a solid and get me the crowbar so we can make this night worse, when he could have just grabbed the crowbar himself.
And just if somebody's listening to the show that has not seen it, Chris has mentioned a couple times that they've resurrected him like Frankenstein. It was not done like, as a on purpose thing. No. I'm just
no.
in case somebody's like listening that has not seen the movie. Tommy sees that he's lying there dead, like, you know what I mean? He's got, all these gross things all crawling all over him. And he decides to take a loose piece of wrought iron fence and stab it into the chest of Jason. And then he goes to light him on fire, and then lightning hits the wrought iron thing that, like, basically...
Not the other wrought iron that's all over the cemetery.
No.
Just the
trees.
one that's in... Yeah. Just the one that's in Jason. And when he's stabbing him, did you notice it was like stabbing hay? Like there was nothing to stab. And that, so I don't understand the resurrection. There was no solid mass to, awaken.
Well, the devil
right, and he's pretty
that lightning.
He's pretty beefy, and again, we put skin back on our bodies. We put the eyes back in. We've given him some fresh clothes, some new gardening gloves,
the eyes?
A satchel for his weapons. I don't understand the satchel.
The eyes?
Why is there a satchel?
Well,
he's got a fanny pack, for Christ's sakes. What's happening?
Uh-oh. He's going to end up like Michael Myers in Chris's doghouse.
No. I'm just saying, like, what is happening?
Let me ask you this.
Oh, God.
Let's get, if I can go to the end or the end-ish.
Go ahead.
Tommy knows how to end this. How? How does Tommy know how to end this? He says that he has to return Jason to his original resting place, and that will stop him. Was there research done on this? Right, exactly.
No.
I mean, aren't you trying to take his head off at least? I think that would have been effective.
No.
I'm pretty sure you could sink him to the bottom of any lake.
To burn him.
Yeah.
Tried to burn him. And then the boat gets... Jason jumps on the boat, splits it in half. They fight underwater. How is the back of the boat still floating as she is turning the motor on?
No, that shouldn't be floating. Yeah, last I checked, iron metal motors don't exactly are buoyant.
No,
none of
it's
that
the
shit,
boat that holds it up.
Yeah. That's a good. I never thought of that. Actually,
I did too much thinking while I was watching it.
No, you did a perfect amount of thinking.
You know how much thinking I did? I was measuring where the prop would be if the back of the boat is lifted up. She turns it on. He's like probably 4 feet down, and that prop is cutting his throat.
Yep.
I did the measurements. It doesn't add up.
I did the measurements. Where did you do the measurements, Ray? In your pool in your backyard?
Yes, I recreated the whole scene with my kids.
She basically was lying there, and Tommy's floating, and she's like, "I'll never let go, Tommy. I'll never let go."
That was another thing. She's known the guy for like 16 hours.
Yeah.
And she is destroyed. Her heart is destroyed that he's possibly dead.
Yeah, but they kissed in a jail cell. So, this is how we all fall in love. And
ugliest kiss, by the way. The ugliest kiss I've ever seen.
Well, they were doing it to distract the guard, but then it turned into something magical.
Yeah, which was still creepy.
Well, it was kind of
totally
it was funny because
he's
he's like, wait a minute, she's like actually kissing back here. But I gotta say,
he had a lot of time to think about romance.
She was a joy, though. She was a lot of fun to watch. She was just like a fun character.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I liked the whole how funny is that scene in the Camaro when she puts his head down? He's like, "Hey, you're the boss." When they keep zeroing in, it's like, you know what? Listen, if you're gonna make me do this. It
was very refreshing that it was very bimbo light. It's very light on the bimbos, which is it's okay. It's okay to actually like the characters. And then you can actually have a strong female lead that isn't a final girl, even though she was the final girl. She's not really that same vibe, that same energy. And she's never a victim.
Alice Cooper's playing while she's cruising. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Even Court's girlfriend that he was in the Winnebago with could have been the bimbo, but she really wasn't.
No.
They gave her some decent lines, and she got serious at one point, and she wasn't too bimbo-y.
He was the only one showing breasts in that scene.
That's right.
True.
He had this weird muscle shirt that was curled up
It was
above
rolled
his nipples.
up.
I don't know what the hell that was all about. It was just sort of rolled up, and he's like, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? And you know what I mean? I'm not being that guy that goes, meh. It's just more like that's really a weird. No, but that's like a really weird scene.
That's my typical look when I have a few whiskeys, guys. So I don't know. I just kind of walk around.
Sure. The more whiskeys, the higher it goes.
Absolutely, sir.
And the more
Maybe a little bit of
whiskeys-
circle action. You never know.
And the more whiskeys you can last for 10 minutes
10 whole minutes.
while she's dancing.
What the fuck? What? Just you just want to go. Just because you're asking doesn't mean it's gonna happen. You can ask all you want.
Dude, how funny is it? Because she's like, just wait till the end of the song. The end of the song, right? Jason cuts the power. He ends it, and she's like, wait, did you just? He was like, the song ended, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's great.
I didn't know that we all have that on the switch control. That's very nice.
That's Sure. awesome.
Yeah. Congratulations,
Especially
sir.
teens.
You should go into other films.
Teens,
Yes,
they got
especially teens.
non-stop control. 10 minutes. I like that. 10 minutes straight for a teen.
Funny.
No.
That's so funny. Okay, sorry. That's really good. We got anything else on this movie?
No, I think we're.
The end of that Winnebago scene was kind of cool. I thought Jason standing on top of that movie kind of made. I mean, on top of the Winnebago made that movie. Like that should have been the movie poster right there. A Winnebago on fire with Jason bashing through the door and just standing on the top.
It was very.
That was kind of cool.
Even though this came first, but it's very fugitive-like when Richard Kimball was standing on top of the
Oh my God, it really was when you think about it. The way it flipped over and he jumps out and wow.
They took it from Jason Lives. Those bastards.
Also that Simpson episodes, which is not unlike the same, isn't it? Homer, they do a fugitive thing with Homer in handcuffs, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah, no, I think that whole scene was very exciting, and the fact that you actually got a big old like automobile crash roll like in an action movie was like, this is fantastic. I mean, I know we've had other automotive problems in other movies, but not a big fireball off the edge, flip over, roll over, and Jason comes out the top. Like that's that's awesome.
No,
It's an action
always
movie.
it's always the car doesn't start, or somebody is driving the car in reverse and hits a tree. That's about it.
No, that was very action packed. So that was
good.
was really neat to see.
I've got one more observation. Did you guys catch the James Bond?
Yes.
You must have. The
Yes.
James Bond nod at the beginning. I thought that was really neat too. That kind of set up the theme of the movie.
Absolutely.
The vibe.
No, that it was. Just calm down, everybody. It's just a horror movie.
And
just calm down.
And
gonna
it's
relax.
almost like he's back, the hero.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
This is who you wanted to see. Not the kids, not the final girl. This is who you came to see.
Now, maybe next October we shall do part 7 or something like that. So plan ahead. No, but I saw part 7 with my brother George in the theater, and I remember on the way I liked it. It's like Jason meets Carrie. Because he takes on a girl.
Oh, yeah.
telekinesis.
That was a pretty good one. That
It's
wasn't
fun.
bad.
Yeah, it's got Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's.
That's right.
And but what I remember my brother commenting on the ride home. He goes, "Yeah, but this one he just kept going to a tool shed and getting new tools, like
Kept going to Home Depot and
there was like this bar, and he kept going back and like, oh, I guess I got a electric. Oh, by the way, one thing. You know how the chainsaw started up like instantly in part 5? We made a joke about it. Well, at least the motor didn't start right away when she was tugging on it.
true.
It's not like it
Took a few
to the
times.
motorboat. You saw her priming it. Like the like you said.
Like son of a bitch.
So
Son of a bitch.
all right, yeah,
Cool.
I do like how he got his machete, by the way, when the paintballers, he whipped that guy against a tree, the bloody smiley face, and then he holds up the machete and then goes a little bit further, and it's the guy's arm is attached to the machete.
See, that's funny.
And
That's great.
And
Funny
how
stuff.
Cool, how cool was the bloody machete? And you find out it's the little girl holding it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yep.
Because you think she's gonna, you think that machete's meant for the camp counselor lady.
I was ready for that camp counselor to go. I didn't like her.
She did, didn't she?
She did
Oh, yeah.
eventually, but it should have been sooner. That's the one that was
Hurry
whining.
up.
She didn't want to play games. She whined through the
You
whole
know what?
thing.
Kill her. She doesn't want to play cards.
Yeah.
It's a good
Ray,
reason.
fucking, we're gonna call him Ray the Merciless. Holy Christ!
I've
You
been
should die
watching too
sooner.
many horror movies.
I know you. Are you all gonna be all right? My goodness.
I don't think so.
Wow. Jesus.
All right. Well, let's. All
right.
What do you say we do? We do.
The final.
I'm sorry.
Do-do.
What do you say we do
You
final
said
judgment?
I can dig it.
Time now for final judgment. Are you ready to rubber stamp this bitch? Here's the final judgment.
All right. Time for final
This
judgment
week's.
is where we talk about how well the movie held up, and I'm just gonna take a wild guess that it's gonna be a 3 for 3 on a yes. But what would you? Who would like to go first? I went
Ray?
first last week.
I'll give it a big yes, and I actually think it still holds up. I think it's almost more entertaining than a lot of horror movies we see today, and I don't think they make movies like that anymore. And I don't think they made any more Friday the 13th movies like that one. So it's a very unique movie in the whole series. So I for that I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think it absolutely holds up. I don't. There's nothing about it that's like I said, it doesn't look 1986 to me at all. It looks like a movie that was made now that takes place in 1986.
Yeah.
Like it looks that crisp to me. And the tone is good. The pacing is good. It's just straight up entertaining. And like I said, they actually market Jason as the hero. I don't know. There's nothing about it that doesn't hold up to the test of time. There's nothing about it that I could find. So not only does it hold up, I think I would recommend it. Like you could start your viewing. You could start with 6.
I was just about to say
Like
that.
you could you could easily start with 6 and it wouldn't matter.
I think if you knew the legend, absolutely start with that one.
So Jason,
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And yeah, I was going to say it's a good starter movie for people who, let's say they're not so into horror because it's not that bad. Like, it's not that bloody. You know, if you're worried about the fact that you see blood here and there, but I mean, like, it's after the fact. It's not coming out of somebody like that. You're seeing it specifically. You're not seeing the knife going in. You're just seeing it like, you know, you're seeing him wave it towards somebody, and then either they'll pan away and then something will happen, like, or you'll see a body part later, but it's not like it's not even that gruesome.
Yeah, you don't see the kills.
Well, but I gotta say though, how great was him walking by with the counselor over his shoulder, and she's missing a head.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl just looks up at the right time, like the little girl, and I'm like, wow, like talk about a scarring image if she specifically saw the headless body over his shoulder.
Right.
But I mean, just that. Either way, clean looking, looks fresh and new. It's like I said, this never felt like a horror, like straight up. It was like a comedy. It was like an action movie.
Yep.
Like I said, it was almost like they were trying to make it as family friendly as they could to basically say, see, we can do that. Like, you know, to all
But
the
not
naysayers.
offend the real fans.
Right. Oh my God. But the fans seem to like this as their number one. A lot of people like this as their favorite. So,
yeah, it's.
And then I think you would go to. I think you'd go to Jason X after that, as far as campiness goes.
yeah, some
And
people
making
don't
fun of
get
it,
it.
making
though.
fun of itself.
Yeah, some people like
just-
some people don't get Jason X. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't look at it they try to take it too seriously.
Nah, it's a comedy.
You know,
It's a comedy.
And it's like, dude,
Straight
it's
up
funny.
black comedy.
It's a fun movie. Just
Yeah.
you know what
That's all
else
there
I
is
like
to it.
about Jason X is that they said it is so far in the distant future that there's no way we can live to be that era, like, you know what I mean, to be into that year where we go, oh, look, see, we're not flying through space and like, you know, like
No.
having robots.
Cryogenics don't work that way. Just ask Auntie Jen. I mean, obviously, she's been frozen for 100 years. It doesn't work like that at all.
Yeah, we've already
So-
surpassed Back to the Future
And Blade
2,
Runner.
Yeah.
and nothing. We don't have hoverboards
They're
yet
flying
No.
cars.
that we know of. Yeah,
I am glad for not having the double tie. I can pass on the double tie.
I would like
think that
those.
be just
I would like
dandy.
those shoes that just rip and and the jacket that dries itself. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
But
No.
hey,
All right.
on that note,
Super.
listen, it was
Yep.
a blast. I really enjoyed
Thanks,
this
Ray.
one.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. See, we told you we'd make it up to you. But here's the problem. Next year, since we're going to do a bad one and a good one, we're going to do 7, which is good. And we'll do 8, which sucks. So like we'll have to do, we'll do them like with a happy one, and we'll go to the shit one after that.
Yeah. It's terrible. So all right. Excellent. So
Listen to Ray.
Go ahead,
You
Jay.
want to plug the podcast
Sure.
and everything?
New England Legends podcast. You can find it on all the streaming services. And Jeff Belanger and myself just give you a legend, New England legend, once a week. And it's a lot of fun. Short, 14, 15, 16 minutes. Production and Jeff's writing. And it's a fun show.
Yeah, it is.
and we hear Ray act every now and then, which I'm
Every once in a while.
every now and then we hear you act, which I'm a fan of actually.
Well,
It's kinda
because
cool.
we actually go to that time period, so we
Yeah.
have to react to the things that are happening, and yeah,
I like it. No, it's
Thanks.
cool. It's totally cool. So Jay, what's going on? We got what the hell are we doing?
The next one is the Mike Shue episode that we have to. We attempted to record that last week, but then some shit happened that it didn't work. For some reason, unfortunately, Mike is cursed with Riverside, which is the program that we record this on. For some reason, it thinks he's got too much memory on his computer, like using too much memory.
Wow. It's a mess.
And it
Yeah, we
kicks
don't
him
know.
off, and it's really bad. Like it's happened like more than once, and he's not holding it against
you got to
us.
stop downloading porn, Mike. It's free. It's there's sites.
Yeah,
You don't have to keep it on your computer anymore.
He's still using LimeWire for Christ's sakes. I don't even know what Napster and shit. What's going on around here?
So we're going a roundabout way where he's going to act as the host, sort of like, you know what I mean, like with a program, and he's going to email me the stuff, and I'll put it together, and aggravating. So
Yeah.
but like
Yeah, it's radio
right.
people. They're pains in the asses.
Wow, now. Easy now.
well, he's Ray's
Cool.
saying that as one, right?
I am.
Yeah.
No, but listen. Once again, I'd like to plug the 5-star request. If you leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple, at the end of that, request a movie, and once a month we're going to pick one. So get on those.
Yep.
So we're going to start that
Easy as that.
hopefully in November, and so we'll see you next week, folks. Have a great week.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jay.
Crickets chirping about movie.